folks, welcome back to the Log Moose Lodge craft show. I am actually today going to be making a cinnamon salt dough, which you can make different items like this, and you can use cookie cutters. I am going to be mixing just the dough, and then later on I will be cutting them out and making different items for the holidays. Valentine's is coming up, so I figured, it's a good thing that we should be doing. Okay, what you're going to need is you're going to need a flour. I'm using a whole white wheat flour. It doesn't matter what kind, but I'm just using this kind because it just happens to be something I have. Let's see if you can see it here. And I'm going to use 2 cups. And you're going to also need cinnamon, salt, and water. And that's basically all you're going to need. If you have other spices that have been in your cabinet for a while and that you haven't been using and you feel that they're kind of old, like nutmeg or any of those, pumpkin spice or any of those sort of things, you can also just throw those in because you're not going to be eating these. These are just for decorations, and you don't have to be really precise. I'm saying 2 cups. I didn't have them fully filled, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, so that's approximately 2 cups. Then I take some cinnamon, any kind, any cheap brand that you have, you can use. I'm going to put in probably the whole thing, maybe another one. I judge, with the 2 cups, I look at the consistency and the color of it, and if it looks like it's really nice and brownish color, and plus you have that smell is what you're looking for too. And this is the very inexpensive cinnamon. I have another one here to open. And this one you can go like that, but it takes forever, so I just do one of those numbers. And I pour it in. And what you could also do is you can mix it around a little bit and get it all mixed in there with the flour. See, I'll show you. And you could use a bigger bowl if you like. Just mix it all around. Then you're going to add salt. Salt is basically why you use salt is so bugs won't be attracted to it. These will last forever. They help make them hard, and bugs do not eat salt. So it's another good thing to have because flour, as you know, can attract bugs. So if you add a lot of salt, the cinnamon they don't really care for either, and so salt-wise, I would say at least a cup of salt, or darn close to it. You know what? I'm going to say a half a cup. I can always add more. You always can add more you can't take out. So once you put in the bowl, you can't separate. So add in some, stir it in, see how you like it. So you know what? I could put another half a cup in there. It'll blend in real nicely. And it's like the ocean. Do you like to drink that salty water in the ocean? No. So same with these. Bugs don't want to eat this stuff. So I will go with another half cup. So you can judge pretty much, you can't over salt it. I mean, unless you really get it so salty that it's all white, then you just have to add more cinnamon. It's not really a scientific measurement or anything like that, but matter of fact, it's not dark enough, so I'm going to add more cinnamon. More cinnamon. You see, and then you bake them, so they do turn dark anyways. So once I get this all mixed up, then I'll add my water to the mixture. And I love old-fashioned stuff. It smells good. This makes the house smell good. Like I said, if you have any nutmeg or pumpkin spice, or as long as it doesn't have sugar, you don't need to add any sugar to this because it's not going to be edible anyways. And once you get it, it's going to have a little bit, it's going to have a little powdery to it. I mean, you can see as I stir it, it's probably going into the air. And that's why you add the water, that way you won't get all that. Add a little bit. Now there's not a set amount, you have to judge by looking at it. You can tell by looking at it whether or not you don't want it too wet and you don't want it too dry. You want it to go into a nice ball. So I can show you it still needs more water. You just keep on mixing. And so have some water handy next to you. I hope I brought enough over so that I can get this all mixed up for you. Or I could fast forward it. If you want more cinnamon, you can add more cinnamon. If you have a lot of cinnamon, you know, you can, it'll all bind together after a while. You don't add no oils or anything like that. You just want water. No milk for sure. But you're going to get a nice, thank you, you're going to get a nice sum of dough to work with. So you're going to break it in pieces and separate it maybe into like 4 balls, and then roll it out with some flour, even some cinnamon. You can roll it onto some more cinnamon to give it that rustic look. It smells good. Smells like you're getting ready for the holidays. And this could take me a little while. It'll take a while, especially if I had a bigger bowl, which I should have, but I wanted to look nice for the camera, of course. And I need more water. And I'll show you what it looks like after I mix in this stuff now. Hi folks, welcome back. I am making a cinnamon salt dough. Here's what it looks like after you stir it up. It's you can actually, it's a little wet. More it sits, it'll dry out. You can add a little more flour if you want. Just go by what it looks like. You can add more flour. You can add a little more cinnamon. You'll get the feel of it once you start making it. But like I said, there's only 3 ingredients really. The salt, definitely have to have that. Flour, and the cinnamon, nutmeg, or any of those spices. And it's really, this is going to make a lot. So I have an old antique rolling pin. And what you can do is you can freeze what you're not going to use or put it in the refrigerator. A little more salt, it won't go moldy, but I would not keep it in the refrigerator for more than maybe a week. And I have to get myself a larger cutting board. Right now I have a pizza cutting board. So eventually I'm going to invest in one of those. So when I'm doing my crafts, I have a cutting board. And maybe, and once I get going here, I will get a better camera. I dug out some cookie cutters. I have several different kinds here. They're pretty unique. This one has scalloped edges on it. This one, when you cut it out, you'll get a middle heart that's cut out. And I have another one. And I'm sure you can pick up all different kinds here and there, anywhere you go where they have supplies for bakeries. I would just put enough flour so when you roll this out it doesn't stick. And also you can put some cinnamon on top of this flour, which would definitely, because it'll turn it lighter. So I grabbed some more cinnamon here. I'll put some more cinnamon on. You probably can't see that, so I will tilt it up and show you. So I'm just putting the board here with some cinnamon. I'm going to make some Valentine hearts, because I figure it's Valentine's. And just a small ball. And stick it in the middle here. Flatten it a little bit with your hands. Don't be afraid to get dirty, because it's fun. And then you can turn it over and get this side. Push it down. And then just take your rolling pin, and you want to get it to about, what, an eighth, sorry about that, an eighth of an inch thick. You don't want it too thick, and you don't want it too thin. You don't want it, and when they dry, if you dry them in the oven, they could possibly bend a little bit on you, but it's faster to dry them that way than letting them air dry. The air dry ones won't bubble on you, and the ones in the oven could possibly bubble because of the air. So just roll it out. I hand cut my houses. The houses I hand cut, I don't have a cookie cutter for them. They're just freehand. And if it's sticking, grab some cinnamon, throw it on there so that your rolling pin doesn't stick. And you turn it around, which is nice to have a cutting board you can move, because if you're working on a surface you can't change, then like a cutting board, I have a big butcher block that obviously you'd have to turn the whole thing, but on this I can move it easily. Okay, alright, and that looks pretty good and thin. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love the scalloped hearts. So you just push in, pull out, make a bunch of them, and you can use a spatula to pick them up if you want. And they are going to be a little delicate, so when you do this, you don't want to damage your edges, so you want to try to be as delicate as you can be. And I'm going to make a whole mess of them. So if you want to enter to win, I'm going to be giving some of these away. You can hand paint them after they're dry and decorate them with sparkles. There's so many things, so many options out there. And then what you also can do is you can just peel away around the heart. You want to save what you're not using, because you can reuse it again and again and again until you have no more. So if you want to enter into the contest, please sign up for my site here. I'm new at this, so bear with me. My son has his own little YouTube going on. He has Cabin Vapors, and I sit in with him because it's very interesting. He got off cigarettes, and I'm really, really happy about it. So you folks at home, if you have any questions and you want to know anything else, if you try this and you're having problems, just write me and I will give you some answers as much as possible. I can take a knife and go in here in between, and these are very easily moved around if you have cinnamon or flour. So basically that is my show for today. I will either put these on a cookie sheet and let them dry by themselves, or put them in an oven at about 225. Keep an eye on them, let them dry for maybe a half hour. If you want to warm your house up, you know, you can cook them longer, but keep an eye so they're not bubbling, because you want to keep them as flat as possible. And also, if you want to hang them, put little holes in them ahead of time. That way you don't have to worry about breaking them like a cookie. Once they're hard, you can't, you know, put a hole in them. And it's much easier to do it now, unless you use a drill. But you just put a little hole in them. You can use a knife, just make a little round hole. And then that way, if you want to have a Valentine's tree, there's one that I put a hole in. And that's all you have to do. Okay, well, thanks for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.